Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video most of the time. I give you the pertinent information you need. I've worked about 10,000 cases. I worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in IRS practice defense for 40 years, and I'm a national expert in IRS resolution matters. Many of you have come to me from my YouTube station. I mean my website, because you see me on national news. I've been on about 10 national news broadcasts in the last, 10 months or so. I've been on Fox a couple times, ABC, The Briefing Room, Washington Bureau, News Nation, Newsmax, NTTV, just many stations. You'll have to go to 777. And more importantly, you can go ahead and see my team of former IRS agents that are very important. I tell you the truth. I tell you what you need to know. I'm very honest and trustworthy. I've never had a complaint ever filed against me. I just deal with the truth all the time. Today I want to talk to you about IRS hardship cases, currently non-collectible, so you understand what those involve and what's required from those. IRS has 3 methods to close cases. Well, I should say there's a couple more. I guess you could do a bankruptcy, or you can go ahead and let the statute of limitations blow. But generally, when your case is in the statutory period of time, there's 3 different closing methods that IRS will use. IRS will go ahead and they will close your case by currently non-collectible, which I will explain, a payment agreement, or the filing of the offer. The filing of the offer will be the last thing that I talk about. But currently non-collectible is probably, I'd say, 50% of all the cases we work and IRS works, they get put in currently non-collectible. What does currently non-collectible mean? The key word in that is currently. Currently non-collectible is very, very, very important, because it means that IRS will keep IRS will keep you there for a period of time, generally 2 or 3 years. Then your case will cycle out and it'll be reworked again. Penalties and interest will run. IRS will grab your refund, but I will give you a practice tip here. If you adjust your W-4, IRS will never grab your refund again. So how does IRS deem you currently non-collectible? Well, it all depends where your case is worked. If your case is worked in the service center and the local office. So if your case is worked anywhere, IRS is going to want a 433F if it's worked in the service center, or a 433A if it's worked at the local office. IRS will carefully look at that financial statement, and they will drill down on your assets, and they will drill down on your income and expenses. IRS will make sure that you don't have assets to liquidate to pay the tax, that most of your stuff is financed, and you don't have a lot of availability to sell things because there's nothing to sell and you're just getting by to manage everything. And they're going to closely look at your income and your expenses. IRS is not going to allow the expenses that you think. IRS has the Department of Labor backing them up, and they are going to tell you how much that you are going to live on for food and clothing, for food and clothing, housing and utilities, car payments, and how much they can use to operate your vehicles. IRS will dictate that in a program that they call the IRS National Standards. And if you want to know what the IRS National Standards is for your region, where you live, where your demography is, you'll have to go to the IRS National Standards for A, housing and utilities, B, food and clothing, C, car expenses, and C, car operation. IRS will dictate to you exactly what they are going to allow you to spend. Now, how long do cases stay in non-collectible? Well, that's a mystery. I will tell you, if you have a high dollar case, IRS will probably keep you there a couple years, and then IRS will bring your case back out to the field to be reworked. Some people's cases, IRS does not want to bring back in the field because they feel there's no low-hanging fruit there. The IRS's algorithms have run through the case, and I say, we do not think that this case has any collection potential. So what do? they transfer them to private debt collection agency or private collection agency. I have a feature that I have already written about, or you will find in a book that a book's coming out, that you will go ahead and find out what they do in private collection agencies. Many times your case will die in private collection agencies. So the first thing you want to do is, if you think your case is in currently non-collectible, is you want to contact the IRS. And so at the service center, you're going to give them a 433-F. You're going to document that with your pay stub. You're going to document that with many other documents. They may want your bank statements. They may want proof of rent, proof of electric. They want proof of all your bills to make sure that you can no longer sustain the bills you have and you're just making enough money to get by. IRS would much rather you have you in a payment agreement, so they're going to keep your income expense analysis very tight to make sure you can't give IRS money. Remember, make sure all your tax returns are filed. If your future tax return is not filed, your case is going to come back out to the field and review. Make sure you keep current on estimate payments and withholding. Don't give IRS a reason to come back and look at you again. So remember, currently non-collectible is only for a current period of time. And by the way, I'll give you a really cute tax tip here. When a revenue officer is closing your case, they can opt to put a closing code on there, and they may opt to put closing code 48. What that means is when your AGI now reaches 48,000, they will bring your case back out to the field. You will never know what your closing case is. You will never know if someone puts it on there. But if your case comes back out in the field in 1 or 2 years, you will know this, that somebody put a tight closing case to bring your case back out to the field. That's all I got today. Thank you very much for listening. Give me a subscription. I really need those. Give me a like. Give me a comment. Subscriptions are really important. If you need me, you know where to get a hold of me. Thank you.